All right, today, so I'm all by myself. Blair's gone to the coast and Mike's gone to go pick up the rear end. So I'm just gonna get started on this quarter panel, getting it mudded and a few dents I gotta fix. And then the back panel. So I'm just gonna grind all the paint off and get it prepped for Bondo. And that'll be about it. So I have this quarter panel all prepped out. I used my polisher with a 50 grit disc. I ran it at a really low speed. I got it set to 800 here, making sure that I got lots of grip on the metal. Should be able to feel kind of the metal burrs, and that's how you know it's prepped for Bondo. And now I just gotta go around and hammer down some high spots, and then we're ready to get some Bondo going. So I just got my Marglass here. I'm gonna go on top of all the welds with the Marglass just in case there's any holes in, or like pinholes in the welds. Marglass is waterproof, so I do recommend putting it over top of your welds before you do Bondo. So I'm just gonna start with that, and then we'll sand it down and get to Bondo. All right, so this quarter is all finished in mud, and Michael literally just got back with the rear end. He said he was supposed to only be 2 hours, but 8 hours to go get the rear end. And yeah, so that's basically it for my day. I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleaning up, and then we'll do the other quarter tomorrow.
It is what day are we at here, Blair?
39, 38,
Is this Wednesday? Okay, we're on day 37 left. It's the 12th. Just want to give you guys an update. We're having we're having a technical difficulty day. Both of our GoPros are down. Cass left hers at home, so.
No, I have mine, it's just out of storage.
Oh, it's out of storage. So anyway, we're resorting to what we like to call mic cam. So Mr. Smith, let's go over this side. What is happening?
Many wonderful things. Trust me, just take my word.
Take many wonderful things.
Yeah, this is all done. I cut this and moved it out in this area because it just didn't have the right flow. So now I'm ready to do a little bit of tappage and start doing some body work. I got it stripped down, I got to blow it off, wipe it down.
See, Blair is old school. He firmly believes a lot of people have given us crap in the past for not spraying paint first or like epoxy primer. But Blair's been doing this since before most of you were alive. I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but there's mountains younger than Blair. But,
Nice.
but anyway,
Yes.
everybody's got their own method. Blair prefers bare steel, 40 grit, good tooth.
Yes.
The mud you've never had an issue. Is
And
that
if my
correct?
work fails, I'm fixing it for free, so I'm not dicking around. Some
Okay.
guys use epoxy. That's cool, man.
But then you're relying on a chemical bond. Yes?
Well,
I am happy with
mechanical,
this.
but not as much mechanical.
Yep.
Yes.
So we're old school. We believe in mechanics.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is all mechanically prepped for the Bondo. How's our trunk lid doing, Mr. Smith?
Much better.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
managed to put shims in it.
We put a few shims.
Pretty close.
Yeah, look at.
I've put in one too many here.
Yeah.
I've got to take one
Okay.
out, but we're pretty much where we want to be.
Excellent.
Looking good.
It's come a long ways. Okay, let's continue to the front of the car here.
Looks good.
How's our door gaps coming now?
Door longer, so that's all good now.
Yep.
So we got a gap we like.
Oh, we love that gap.
I
Okay.
had to change this. I added on to the back of the fender. It was too big a gap to make me feel happy.
So now he's happy.
And I
See, when
narrowed
Blair's
it
happy,
down.
when Blair's happy, we're all happy. Look at those. Nice. It's like that Toyota ad where they roll the ball bearing down the body lines. Or is that? I forget. I remember that ad where they rolled the ball bearing down all the gaps.
Yeah, because the gap fit perfectly.
Yes.
They made us put our stuff together.
Yes. Okay.
Now, the front rad support is not tightened, and you can see by this gap, I've got to pull it over just a hair.
Just a hair, but it's looking pretty
Very
good.
nice.
Okay. What's happening on Cassidy's side? Just as many exciting things, or we gotta push her a little more.
She's doing.
Okay.
Tighten up this gap too at the top,
Yep. Okay.
but she's pretty much got this quarter deep.
Look at that.
Finally
Ooh.
scratched it.
There we go. I mean, these quarters, guys. I mean, they've been kicking around a long time, and they were pretty beat. So, you know what they say about mud? Yep. It is thin. I mean, basically, you put it on and you take 90% off.
Now,
I mean,
you can see I got to add to the edge of the door because this area, the door curves in.
yep.
This is straight, so
Yeah.
I'm going to run a bead down that back edge from
Yeah.
here to here.
Man, you are one
bit.
nitpicky SOB.
little
Yes.
bit better.
Anyway, well, like I said, we're. And have we agreed that? Okay, guys, maybe you could write some comments on this. Our 64 seats were totally thrashed, so we do have a set of 66 high back buckets, and we've talked to Miss Cass, and she agrees with me that they don't look bad. What do you think, Blair?
That's never a show of support saying it doesn't look bad.
Well, I think it looks great.
Well, that's what matters.
Okay, what do you think, Cass?
I think it looks good. I like the shape of those seats.
Yes. They have just a
good.
few more curves, and the mystery seat covers, I talked to Richard, they will fit.
Okay.
So somebody dropped off a set of white 66 to 72 seat covers, and we still don't know who. If you were the guy that dropped off the white seat covers that we found, please let us know, because we'd like to know who dropped them off.
The freaking fuel line.
Yes.
We're going to put it in 2 pieces.
Okay. But it's one piece.
I know it.
Why don't we look at it and just see first? We will look.
You want to undo that side of the body and loosen this side of the body and jack it up, then
And fuck up all
I would
the
like to buy a ticket watching you get the bolts back in that side to tighten it down. It was
Okay. Well, we will take a look, and we might just have to put it in. Even though we do have a one-piece fuel line, it might become a 2, because you know what they say? 2 is better than 1.
yes, absolutely.
Anyway, guys, we are up to date. Like I said, 37 days left. It's come a long ways. Our partners in crime there at Speed Tech have one of their track time suspension systems coming. Hopefully it's somewhere between Provo, Utah and the border. Our buddies there at American Auto Wire have a hot rod update wiring harness that's somewhere between wherever the hell they are and our customs broker down in Orville. So things are coming along. The gauges, our buddies at Speed Hut are going to be sending us one of their, what do they call them? Speed boxes. One of their speed boxes. Because we have found 3 gauges, 3 gauge clusters for the 64. We've got to do a little bit of repair work. You can see where someone has hacked and whacked the dash, but Blair's going to fire up the torches and we're going to do some gas welding and fix that. And we have 3 complete sets of gauges. Hopefully one of them, the Speedo, works, so we'll be using Speed Box. And we're going to get a custom tack. And we'll probably do the same as we did in the Chevelle. We're just going to hang a cluster of their most excellent gauges down here for the charging, oil pressure, and temperature. So anyway, that's where we're at. It's Like that ad for those Virginia Slim cigarettes?
Wait, what?
You've come a long way, baby. Okay, talk to you soon. Stay tuned.
I have a beautiful gap at the front of the hood, but I'm going to run a bead down the back edge of the fender to tighten this up. And I may open this up because that seems a little tight. And then I will play with this section here. Just not, like this is flush. This isn't quite right. So I'm going to make all this wonderful. And then I can go and reacquaint myself with this line. Because we did all this with, okay, panels shouldn't be mudded until you've had them on the car. We couldn't do that because the body wasn't bolted to the frame. So we jumped the gun a bit. For the most part, we're all right. But this is the fine example of why you shouldn't do body work before you bolt the car down to the frame, because now we're chewing up primer and body filler, and we have to do a few redos.
But we had to make progress, so it was necessary.
Yes, exactly. We had to move ahead. So hopefully we finish up these gaps I was fighting with. I have to realign the trunk. She probably smacked her head on it and put it out of the line. So it's no longer my problem if the trunk doesn't fit. Thank you.
I only bashed my head off of the one corner, so.
So today is all about alignment. I'm trying to get in to this quarter and get some body work started on it while Cassidy finishes off the other side.
Morning, Cass.
Morning.
Morning, Blair. Okay, we're at day, what day is it today? We're on day 35. 35 left. Yes, there we are. Friday the 14th. Tomorrow's the swap meet and the demolition derby. Here's our buddy Jeremiah from Camping in the Woods, Volkswagen King. What?
He's the MC for the races.
Master of ceremonies, really?
I am, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They handed me the microphone. It's gonna be good times.
Those dulcet tones. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so yesterday we did a lot of mud work, getting ready for fun. I like it, guys. I mean, everybody's gonna say, look at all the Bondo. Well, that Bondo is probably an 1/8 inch or less thick over most of the car. And when you're dealing with sheet metal that's almost 60 years old, you're gonna have Bondo. If you want your paint job to look good, you're going to have Bondo. Is that not correct, Cass?
That is correct.
That
and
is-
there isn't that much on here.
No.
It just looks.
Well, I know. Well, I mean, you can't tell if it's an 1/8 of an inch or if it's 3 inches, but I know a magnet will stick anywhere, and you can tell by the sound. Anyway, so basically, by the end of the day, we're hoping to have all of the mud work done on the car, give or take. That's correct. Meanwhile, Blair's been working on this side. Well, actually, they've both been working on each side, and we're basically at the same stage. Problem with this car is I never realized until we started blocking, this thing has more body lines than Carter has little liver pills. There's just so many lines. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, your fender lip, your wheel well curve. It's just... And basically, once it's painted, all these lines have to line up.
They do. You never know a car until you block it.
Yes.
Then you know what it looks like.
And like I said, I just never... You can see here how we've laid mud right across the whole door gap. So this is when we block it. Everything is going to line up perfectly. Because that's the thing. I mean, once you put the paint on, it's too late to do body work. So, I mean, it's a whole... This is the most tedious and Blair's least favorite part of the job.
Exactly.
And he keeps reminding me of it, how much he loves block sanding.
Just because you went, no sanding at all, Blair. Just
There's
metal
metal.
work.
Those are the next couple. Honest to God, the next couple. That's it. Once we get these couple done, we're just going down to, we're going to just be doing some bodies, get some of our Mopar B bodies rust-free. But anyway, that's the plan today. Finish the mud work. Hopefully we're going to find out where our suspension parts are, where our wiring harness is. It's somewhere in transit, but like I said, it's come a long way, baby. It's got a long way to go, but 35 days, as they say, we got a long way to go in a short time to get there. But anyway, stay tuned, guys. Hopefully in another couple days, this thing will be in primer, and it's going to look a whole lot different. Anyway, a lot more work left, but we're getting it. Next time, we're going to pick one that's easier, right, Blair? Yes, we're going to pick an easier one, but this one got smacked so hard after 30 years of me dragging it around, it guilted me into working on it. Well, guilted me into making these guys work on it. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Stay tuned. Remember, those that have should give. Peace, love, and joy. And Cass, you got to sand faster. Anyway, well, those guys are doing the mud work. Like I said, it's starting to look like a car. Like I said, when we look at what we started with, it's come an amazing long way. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of the crew. 98% Blair, 2% Cass, and 0% Mike. Anyway, well, those guys are working on the fun part. Smile for the camera. Those guys are working on the fun part. I'm going to come and do some mechanical work. We're going to take the stock exhaust manifolds off this engine. Hopefully, they're not cracked. I'm going to take them off, bead blast them, check them out. Because basically, the way the cross members are on these cars, it's nice to have the stock exhaust. Just because it'll fit. You don't have to buy special headers. And I mean, we're not running a really high performance engine. I'm sure the stock exhaust system will work if we put some new pipes. I've got to figure out how the steering column goes into this thing, because unlike the later cars, this is like one piece. I think you've got to take it apart and pull it out, because I'm not seeing anything that comes apart there. If you see what I mean, it looks pretty solid. And then I might just take these factory clutch pedals out. We do have a new set, but I mean, it's nice using originals. I mean, we're going to need some of these parts for the convertible top. So I think today I'm basically going to get the parts that we need off this car. I know one of our pieces of chrome, I think this one was damaged when the rock came in and smashed the whole quarter in. So I might try and get that out as well. So that's my plan for the day here. Just going to set up, grab some tools and get on it. Okay, guys, we had to cut this exhaust pipe out, but we've got both exhaust manifolds out. Another reason we're using this one is back in the day, they had the alternator mounted on the exhaust manifold. So as you can see, there's not too many holes on these heads or anything to mount brackets. So basically there was a long arm, came off this bolt here, came up, and that gave you your adjustment, and your alternator pivoted here. So hopefully we can get one that'll fit to this bracket, and that makes our alternators super simple. And because we're not running power steering or power brakes, we'll only need one belt. So like I said, the whole idea of this build is we're trying to keep it as simple as possible, so there's not too much to go wrong, because again, we don't have much time to get the build done, and we want it to be reliable and easy to fix. I'll show you the reason why this car is not getting fixed, at least not at this time, because here's what happens to the frames on these convertibles. As you can see, basically half of the frame here at the front is just gone. Like, this is supposed to be down here and out to there and all boxed, and there's not much left. Swiss cheese is an understatement here. So either this car came from Ontario, or it saw quite a few winters down at the coast with a lot of road salt, and then the slush and the gunge gets up inside the frame and eats it from the inside out, because it's never washed out, never flushed. But anyway, it's a sad, sad situation. God, there's got to be a song in there somewhere. Anyway, so That's a story. I mean, I should almost rip this motor and tranny out of here, and somebody probably want that. I mean, it's probably the numbers matching transmission, because this car is a 4-speed, which is very cool. So, I mean, basically we can see how all the linkage goes, because our car, it was a 4-speed as well, but somebody stripped all the parts off and put it back to an automatic, and we're going to put it back to a 5-speed. So anyway, we got the exhaust manifolds. Going to try and take the pipes off, sandblast them, and then we'll come back and see if we can't get the linkage out and figure out how the steering column comes out. Just because we've got one to go in, and be nice to know how it comes out. Grab the ashtray and glove box. And like I said, we got to see if we can't get the roof opened up, because these pieces here we do not have on my car, and these are convertible only. So we're going to have to liberate a few pieces from this car. If we ever do something with this one, basically if we find a frame, I mean, it's in about the same shape as the other one was. It's just amazing how the frame's that gone and the rest of the car isn't actually that bad. Mind you, we can't tell with the trunk floor. Oh, yeah, I see some light shining through there. But anyway, we salvaged quite a few parts off this thing. This one was pretty deluxe car. In fact, it had a power top and power windows, which pretty deluxe, because mine was manual windows and manual top. But said, less things to screw up. We'll keep it simple. We're going to use some of these parts, the headlight rings, maybe the buckets. I think we only had one side, so said, it's handy having a parts car. Anyway, we will, and probably this piece of chrome, because ours was pretty well pooched from the rock. We might try and straighten it out though. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So Blair, we got them off. They're pretty rough, but...
What do you mean rough? They're beautiful. They're cast iron.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of gunge inside, but I'm going to bead blast them.
What's that? You got oxygen sensors in there, or what is that? Oh, no, that was for the choke, right?
Yeah, this, where the hell was it? Yeah. So, how did that work? It just the heat?
It's just like a thermocoupler where
Yeah.
it heats up and goes up to your spring.
Oh, and then the spring heats up, and then it gets softer or weaker?
Heated up. Oh no, that's on a 6-banger. We'd use a water line to heat up.
Yeah, because it was actual a hollow
Yeah.
tube that goes right inside there, but we should be able to get that out and put a tap. Or just pound something
We
into
should be
it.
able to get it out, no problem.
Yeah.
Heat it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
And then, like I said, here's our factory mount.
This
Yes.
is all valuable stuff.
Yes.
You can't find that.
No, and then that way we only have, because since we're running no power steering, no power brakes, one belt.
So you're just gonna soak it in molasses for a week? No.
No, well, we're just gonna leave it on, because it's,
Right, you're gonna blast it.
yeah, we'll bead blood, we'll sound
Really
blast this.
oh, look at this, man.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We're pooched, and this is the hard one.
Yeah, that's the important one.
Bummer.
The thread. What's that?
That's the bolt for the.
Bummer.
Let me show them. Why are we? Look at the side.
Yes.
The casting is busted right out. And this is incredibly tough to get, because to find an exhaust manifold with the mounts for the alternator,
Yes.
327, is tough.
I gotta talk to my buddy. We might be going headers, but then we don't, because I think they make an adapter.
Oh, you can always make your own brackets.
Yeah.
It
Well,
just
we
takes
could
extra
use-
time, and we got extra time, right?
Well, it mounts, oh yeah, see, it doesn't mount with the exhaust
No.
bolt. It's a separate bolt.
No, so you could take this, you could make some brackets that go underneath the other ones
Yeah.
that come up. You know, we could weld these to a plate that
Yeah.
bolts on underneath the
These here,
stud from
yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
Not ideal,
No.
and I don't know how that kind of heat would. We should be fine. But basically, don't you have another one out there?
No.
Freaking mess of stuff.
Nothing like this. Bummer. Okay, well.
I might, but that's too far away.
Yeah, whatever, I'll figure it out. I'm sure that they make an adapter.
You know,
I'll make some calls.
yeah, I think I got a set on a 283. But ooh, would they cost them? Yeah, I got a 64 rag with 327 or 283, I don't even know.
Hey, Blair. Blair. Okay. I just talked to Summit Racing, our buddies, our partners in crime there in the States. Actually, they actually used to sponsor us.
Oh, yeah.
I got to talk to those guys again. But anyway, they've got a set of headers that will work with the 4-speed and the floor shift, because there's no room, right? The way the cross member comes and your Z-bar, that's why we're going to use those exhaust manifolds.
I thought it was about the alternator.
Well, it's about both, the alternator bracket and the fact there's no room, because the exhaust has to go down behind the cross member and then underneath the Z-bar. So I think I'll take the original linkage out of here, and I know we have new stuff in the box, but we do have original
Brand new
stuff.
stuff that we don't have to sandblast or paint. We
Yeah.
just bolt in.
Well, I'd rather take the original stuff, and we know it's going to fit.
One of your cars.
I'm not parting it out. I'm borrowing parts. But see, we'll take old parts and we'll give it new parts at a later date. I just want to make sure it's going to fit.
I've never seen you be so logical.
Well, I know. Maybe I'm getting older in my old age.
Yeah. Well, have that for making a parts car.
Look at that body line.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Very close.
Blair, did you ever bend down and look at the frame on that car?
Holy.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
That is Swiss cheese.
Yeah, I'd never seen. That was the exact thing I used. I've never seen one rot that bad.
No.
Yep.
It
Anyway.
is the worst.
Yep.
So yes, it's a parts car.
It's a parts car.
Forget
Yeah.
about getting new crap.
Yeah.
Let's just cut it up in pieces and put it in the bin.
No. And we might take that one piece of back chrome off, the one that got smacked.
Sure.
Well, you know, the one that really got dented bad, because
Hey.
it's pretty mint.
That's a power roof, right?
Yep.
We could put that in this and have a power roof.
I don't want a power roof.
Well, what if this one's body mangled? We got to fit this one and find
Yes. Then
do
Blair,
that today.
the body man Smith, is going to make it work.
We're running out of time. Remember?
I think it'll fit. It'll fit, Blair. Be positive. We need some more positivity.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, okay, I mean, we've got the exhaust out and they're kind of pooched, which is a shame, but we talked to our buddies at Summit Racing. We've got a set coming that are supposed to work for 64 to 68 Chevelles with manual transmissions and floor shifts. So I did order a couple sets of pedals set up from Jegs, I think. But now that we see how rough this car is, we might just use it as parts for the time being, just to make sure everything fits. We're probably going to end up taking the pedals out of this car, just so we know. Basically, this is the exact same car as what we're working on, like I explained before, except with the exception of this one has power windows. I mean, even an original shift ball. Ooh, that's kind of funky. Ooh, it even works still. I should actually pop the tranny out of here. Not today, though. Power windows. The remote mirror, which is not here. The power windows there, though. Should almost just take this door off, and it would give me a lot more room to maneuver. But probably a lot of pain in the ass, too. Okay, we've got the bolts out, the power steering's off. I think those are the brackets. I might have to put these other two back in because I wasn't thinking. And trying to get these two off, which are they part of? No, they're not part of this. So I've got to put the first two I took out back in so we can get these ones out to pull that support out, I'm thinking. So we're going to try that. So 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Typical Rough Brothers fashion. Okay.
So today, in the bliss of peace and quiet, I'm going to finish the body work on the top deck, top of the corridors, and I have a spot. I think I'm going to weld this shut, make that gap a little tighter, and look at this. Wait. Yeah, so I got to make that tighter. And the same on the top of the other front fender. And then, if I'm fortunate, I will mask this up and I will try to prime it while everybody's gone. We had a really, really good day yesterday. Cassidy and I swapped back from side to side, helping each other go over the details, get kind of wore out when you're doing a big freaking job like this in a rush. So she'd go and check my side and I'd go back on hers. There's a lot of freaking body lines here all the way through, and it comes out. Anyhow, this has been quite a challenge, a good one. I really wanted to get the roof fit in there before I prime so we don't scratch up the roof and double check it to see if it's bent, but that's not gonna happen. So today I'll finish off this body work here. Clean up around the tail lights, and I think we'll start masking. Problem is we have no wheels underneath this. We're still waiting for front suspension and rear suspension arms. So I think I will crank up the booth and I will prime it in here and have the fan going so I don't cover every freaking thing in here. I really want to get this primed. That means as soon as the outside's primed, we can knock the car apart and start painting the inners. Unfortunately, we don't have the freaking paint yet. I believe we'll get that in a couple days. We've got to do a couple spray outs and decide which variant we're going to go with. And then we can start spraying inners. I prefer to break all the panels off and paint the inner tub first and inside the trunk and all that, so that it can sit to the side, and when I paint all the doors, inner fenders, hood, doors, trunk, they can just go straight on the car once they're painted. You paint all your parts first, now you got to find a place to stack them where they don't get damaged until you can get the tub painted. So I should really try to cut this window out too. I want to paint in behind it. But right now, the big goal, get this mother and primer today. So I'm going to set the camera up, probably just some time lapse, and get after it while everybody's gone. Kind of a cool day. I'm going to weld along the back edge here. And also, if you see this, I'm going to cut right here. And I'm going to move this in to line up with the fender. I mean, that was probably fine in the day, but it's something it's easy to make better. This is the last bit of gapping I have to do. So I'm going to try to set this up somehow where you can see what the heck I'm doing. All right. And there it is. Perfect gaps. Perfect lines. Well, really good. It'll be perfect after we block it. All right on. Thanks for the help, guys.
Hey, anytime, man.
Now I can maybe catch the end of the hockey game.
Cool, that's a good idea.
And that's a night.